Hi there, and welcome back to the HQ. Today, we are going to be reacting to Halo Season 2. It somehow got worse by Elvis the Alien. Just from that title alone, I'm already not looking forward to how this is going to be. In the first episode, if you saw me watch it, sure hope you did. You saw me doing a lot of critiquing of that season, just based off what we learned from Elvis the Alien. And you're probably going to see me doing that a lot too, because if you don't know, I know a lot about Halo lore. I've played all the games, read all the books, done all the comic books. I've done everything when it comes to Halo except for this friggin' show. And that's not going to change. I'm just going to live the show vicariously through third-party reviewers. So, let's jump right into this and see just how much worse Season 2 got compared to Season 1, because I genuinely don't know how it could get even worse than it did.
You thought Elvis the Alien wouldn't make another video on the terrible Halo series. How wrong were you?
Alright, I know some of you out there knew that this was gonna happen, okay?
What did that say?
How wrong were you?
Alright, I know some of you out there knew that this was gonna
I should probably get around once. Oh boy, you are stronger than me,
You gonna
Elvis.
stop me or something?
just like John and his special glowing rocks, it was destined for me to make this video.
Nighty night, Cadbury. You have some good sleep.
Haven't you blue idiots learned anything yet?
Yes,
Okay, first of all, that voice does not belong to Sergeant Johnson. That belongs to Sergeant Stacker. Different sergeant.
today we're talking about
My
Halo
first of many
Season 2.
critiques.
Some time ago, I made a very long video on Season 1. And let's just say I had some problems with it. Hello everyone, I am sad to report that the Halo show is bad.
It
Halo
is.
is a fascinating show to me because it somehow accomplishes saying 100 things and nothing at the same time.
I know what you're thinking. No combat. It's bullshit.
So far, it's a 2-season origin story, and I'm not joking. It's still an origin story, and it continues to be an origin story until the last episode
How?
of this season. What makes it worse is the piss poor character development. It feels like the showrunners were expecting this show to go on for 8 to 10 seasons, because for some reason the pace to this story is like frozen molasses. You wait 10 years
God,
for it to
no.
thaw, and then when it finally does, you gotta wait another 10 years for it to drip out of the bottle. Let me be clear, I don't want this show to fail. I like Halo. It's just a shame they want to drag this show on.
And then the show got canceled after Season 2. Hopefully it stays that way. I know some shows tend to get picked up by Netflix for like streaming rights, and then inexplicably they get an audience and then they get picked back up again for Season 3. That's so weird, and I really hope it doesn't happen to Halo.
As much
It
as
doesn't
possible
deserve it.
Before getting to the good parts, there are 2 moments during this season where I'm like, hell yeah, this is pretty cool. All the rest of it felt like filler.
But make no mistake here, John.
It felt like I was watching One Piece or something. Remember that batshit insane decision they made during the finale of Season 1, where they kind of just took Chief out of the equation entirely and put Cortana in charge so she could finish the fight for him? Yeah, they start Season 2 off by removing Cortana from Chief.
The Cortana system was never intended to be.
It's pretty hilarious. They were probably like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work. We should probably take her out.
I need you to do me a favor.
Anything.
Stop talking.
And then we get this mission on planet Sanctuary. Surprisingly, the Spartans are in their armor. Don't get used to it because just like
great.
in Season 1, it doesn't last long.
Oh,
Quick word
no.
from today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by Factor.
One thing I have noticed too is that they basically replaced Blue Team with Gray Team. And I don't like that. Or no, this is not Gray Team, it's Silver Team, I think. I think that's what he said last time. It's Silver Team. Which is why I guess it is called the Silver Timeline, because instead of Blue Team, it's Silver Team, which is stupid.
Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning. Factor cuts down
I'm gonna
on
crack
grocery
open a can of
trips
root
and
beer.
cooking, so there's more time for me to make videos or work on personal projects. And you still get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered straight to your front door. With over
A very
35
handy
meals to
little
choose
line at
from,
the bottom to
including
tell you how
options for
long this
keto,
ad is gonna
calorie
go.
smart, vegan, or veggie. Their meals are incredible. incredibly convenient. They only take 2 minutes to make, so that frees up a lot of time during the day. Skip the overpriced
Very convenient.
takeout trap. Factor is cheaper, and cheaper by a lot if you use my code. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code.
Factor's definitely probably good for you. 18 meals per week, 18 servings at $11.49 each. So $200 for 18 meals. I could get like that number of meals for half that with like a trip to Aldi. Like taking a trip to like Aldi's and Walmart, I could get that much and more on half of that. Also, sometimes I just like to eat trash food. I'd love to just DoorDash myself some McDonald's right now, but I don't think it's safe considering all the ice on the road. I don't want to put a dasher through that.
ETA50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code ETA50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Thank you so much to Factor
Is that audio a little better?
for sponsoring this video and for keeping me full when I'm busy. Now back to the review. The intro sequence is a little bit better this time around. The music is more reminiscent of the classic Halo theme. I'm not a huge fan
that's
of the
good.
particle effects, but I don't know, it was
I-
fine. For those that don't remember, there are 4 Spartans in Silver Team, which is
Okay, yeah,
Master
it is
Chief's
Silver Team.
There's Kai, Vanek, Riz, and John. We learn that Vanek likes
I don't like the fact that they just... I don't like the fact that they just get rid of Blue Team. I do not like that at all, because each member of Blue Team, John had a special kind of synergy with. Like, Kelly is like his best friend. Like, literally, Kelly is like his best friend from childhood. It was like Kelly, him, and Samuel. And they were like the 3 amigos. Fred is like, he's, in a way, he could be a better leader than John, but he doesn't like the spotlight, so he always defers to John for leadership. And Linda is the strong, silent one that falls back on the others for support. And they have a whole team rapport in Blue Team. It's like say what you want about Halo 5, but I really love the interactions of Blue Team in that game. But this, just throwing them out for 3 OC Spartans, which I guess they exist in the regular timeline, but we don't know anything about them. But yeah, it just sucks.
to watch Animal Planet or something. He has a thing for animals.
I like it.
They try to do something with this later on. It doesn't hit at all. We'll get there. I guess all
Yeah, like that just seems like a really patty way to give the Spartans personality. Like in the book Halo Shadows of Reach, the first chapter, we have each Spartan having little bits of personality shown in like their pre-mission warm-up like stuff. Like Fred doing like routine checks, just like making sure all the stuff is good and double checking and triple checking and all that. We have Linda going through like a meditation cycle and like checking her sniper rifle. And then you have Kelly just like blaring Killer Queen in her helmet. That's like because she's really into 20th century rock music. Like yeah, like I like it when they have like personality defining stuff in there. Or like a moment in the book where Fred has a concussion and he just can't stop making jokes and can't stop being a sarcastic ass about things because he's concussed. It's funny, but like it's funny stuff.
of Silver Team decide to remove their chips. You know, those pleasure dampening chips they had installed in their back? Which is strange because in the first season, Vanek was very much against removing this chip. But whatever, he did a complete 180 sometime between the first season and this season.
Yeah, also the whole pleasure dampening chip is also very stupid. Very stupid. Because that wasn't a thing in actual Halo canon. In actual Halo canon, they were just kidnapped and indoctrinated into being soldiers. And they just had the unwavering belief that that was what was best for them. And even now, knowing what happened to them, they don't regret the decisions and the actions taken that led them to that moment. For this, they had to insert a whole reason of like manipulation and these pleasure dampening chips that make it to where they can't taste food and can't feel pleasure and don't have dopamine. It's stupid. It is all kinds of stupid.
Asking me dumbass questions like that.
Chief attempts to save some Marines in this episode. They're fighting for their lives in a bunch of fog. There's a bunch of energy sword elites around, and it's pretty cool. Chief tries to save these guys, but he mostly fails. All of them die except for one, Corporal Perez. And she's very important in this season, except not really. Perez has the weirdest character development in this show. She starts training to become a Spartan, and then she forms a bond with Kai, and then they start attacking the Covenant. I guess they use her character as a way to like put the audience in the shoes of a regular person fighting the Covenant, you know, and that should be very scary. And I get that, but it felt like that was her only purpose in the show.
Are they like jumping straight to the Spartan 4s or something? That doesn't make any sense.
Aside from that, she's basically no one.
Corporal Perez.
Who?
The Covenant start glassing the planet with huge lasers. We learned that
Yeah,
Madrigal
yeah, that tracks. I mean, the Covenant does not care for ground engagements. They will only go on the ground if they detect Forerunner stuff that they can snatch up. If not, they're just gonna glass the planet with their ventral beams on their capital ships. That's just how they roll.
was completely destroyed by the Covenant.
We lost Madrigal.
Remember how important Madrigal
Oh, the entire first season was all about hyping up how important Madrigal is and how much this lady had to save it. And then the first episode, it gets glassed into hell. It's perfect.
was in season 1? They based Quan's entire character arc around the planet. Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Bruh.
The same woman that John sacrificed everything to save. She wanted to
Oh, that's
follow
so
her
funny.
father's footsteps. I already said this in the first video, but it's just kind of strange that she doesn't want revenge on the Covenant because, you know, the Covenant killed everybody she loved. But anyway, remember there was this evil dictator guy that was sent down to Madrigal to, like, control it, I guess? And there was this whole thing with Quan and Soren killing him and saving Madrigal. Well, all that can get thrown down the toilet because, holy shit, the planet's just gone now.
The planet is
Are you kidding
kablooey,
me?
I
They
guess.
don't even show it happening. The planet is just gone.
Okay, so if they don't show it actually happening, I think it's less that the planet was actually blown up. It's just that, like, the planet is just glassed and uninhabitable now. Because that's what the Covenant does. They don't actually blow up planets. They just glass them to make them uninhabitable. Because they don't have actually
Okay,
any
then.
tech that
Wow,
can destroy
felt
weapons,
like
I
a lot of
guess.
wasted time then, I suppose.
Yeah,
Quan's
waste of an entire
mission
season.
Was a complete failure, I guess. They could have gone so many different routes with this, and they decided to just erase the planet. Like, I wasn't a fan of Madrigal and that whole plot thread already, but since
Yeah, that
we
is all
already
kinds
had
of
it
dumb.
in there, you can't just throw it away and hope people forget about it. You gotta do something with it, you know? Why didn't they just make Quan the new leader of Madrigal? Don't destroy the planet. You could have her strike a deal with the UNSC or something to fight the Covenant together.
Yeah,
And in return,
you could.
Madrigal would be granted sovereignty. In the beginning of this season, you
But,
could have
you know.
Quan and the Madrigal locals fight.
Well, yeah, you could. But that'd take actually competent writing. Competent writing and competent characters to do said competent writing from. But, you know, they don't.
Back against the UNSC or something, until eventually the Covenant becomes more of a threat to humanity as a whole, so they're forced to work together. And it could be cool to see humanity come together to fight this greater evil. I don't know. Just something like that. And I'm just spitballing here, obviously, but it would have been better than just destroying the planet outright, which makes practically half of Season 1 irrelevant now. It's so weird.
entirely
Now, I know
irrelevant,
Madrigal
yeah.
wasn't exactly the most advanced planet. They don't have like a star fleet or anything. They could have been trained by the Spartans or something, which would have been better than this random woman named Perez that Master Chief saves out of nowhere in episode 1. Like, what? Why aren't they working with what they already have? They just erased what they had and they're creating something new. The UN
Because they're embarrassed by it. They're just like Last Jedi, like Rise of Skywalkering it. They're completely just erasing what came before and just trying to do something else because it didn't land.
NSC replaced Halsey with some guy named James Ackerson.
Okay, so that does track. That does track. James Ackerson, in actual Halo canon, was a political rival of Dr. Halsey. He was a colonel in the UNSC and basically wanted to usurp Halsey's position within the Spartan program. Where Dr. Halsey made the Spartan 2s, James Ackerson made the Spartan 3s, which were basically more expendable, less expensive versions of Spartans that were more or less mass produced. And they were like augmentation wise and physically wise, they were almost on par with the Spartan 2s. They were just a little weaker. Like if the Spartan 2s were 10 out of 10s, the Spartan 3s were like 8.5s to 9 out of 10s. It's kind of like on a scale because they didn't have the same genetic purity as Spartan 2s, and they didn't have the Mjolnir armor. They had semi-powered infiltration armor or spy armor, which is less powerful and doesn't have like auto-enhancing like servos and stuff like that, but do have like a specialty like reflective camo plating that makes them like more capable of stealth and stuff like that. But yeah.
John has a meeting with Ackerson. During this meeting, we learn that John thinks that the Covenant are training for something.
I think they were training.
The screen cuts to black very
Training?
abruptly. I think this is probably where they would put a commercial or something, but I found it extremely jarring, and it happens multiple times throughout the
That was
show.
pretty jarring.
We then get some scenes of Pirate King Soren.
They didn't even
hanging
have the
out on his
music, like,
asteroid. There's this
dim
guy
out.
who claims he knows where Halsey is. Soren is searching for Halsey because he wants to enact revenge on her for what she did to them as children.
This place cost me my arm.
This guy, who kind of reminds me of I Hate Everything, is used by Soren to locate Halsey because he claims he knows where she is.
I still don't like the fact that Soren is just walking around still with his Spartan chest plate on. Because unless he has the physical enhancements of the Mjolnir armor, he shouldn't be able to just walk around in that. Because the whole point of Mjolnir armor is that it actively enhances the physical abilities and senses of the Spartan wearing it. So without the actual heavy lifting of the suit, he would not be able to walk around with that chest plate because the entire suit itself weighs over half a ton. So just the chest plate would definitely be... He's basically carrying around like 200 pounds of armor on his chest.
It turns out I Hate Everything just set him up, so he's arrested.
Soren 066, you're under arrest.
Apparently, Silver Team is just a bunch of over-emotional goofballs ever since they removed their pellets. So Ackerson does not feel confident to put them out in the field. Chief is experiencing some PTSD, and for some reason he misses that psycho McKee.
Chief, what the hell has gotten into you?
I know you never forget your first love, but I think John is a special case. This woman was a little weird. She was raised by aliens. He has some visions of her.
The fact that they even inserted a romantic subplot into a Halo show is already pretty fucking stupid.
He believes that he saw her on Sanctuary, and for some unbeknownst reason, he misses Cortana. At the end of Season 1, she was pretty useful to him, but the last thing that she did for him was take over his body so she could fight the Covenant while he, like, slept. Isn't that kind of scary?
That's
Why would
like
you
some
want an
Spider-Man
AI right
symbiote
here
shit.
in your brain that you know could just hijack your body and do whatever she wants with it?
Yeah, like, that was never a thing that the AI could do in the actual Halo. This isn't Halo. I'm talking about actual Halo. It's not something they could ever do. Even connected to, like, whenever Master Chief first received Cortana, he received an enhancement to his neural lace because every UNSC soldier has a neural lace embedded directly into the base of their skull that acts as basically like them keeping like a digital record of who they are and what they do. A Spartan 2 like Master Chief has an enhanced neural lace that allows for an artificial intelligence to directly interface with his brain. So whenever Master Chief is like, you see in the games, whenever he's taking that chip and inserting it into his helmet, that's not just him inserting it into his suit. That's him inserting Cortana directly into his brain. So yeah, there is that deeper level of connection, but she can't just hijack control.
And if someone else is controlling her somehow, then you're just a puppet. He did form somewhat of a connection with her, but it wasn't substantial really. So it's kind of strange that he would miss her. I can definitely see how someone might find artificial intelligence like her useful.
Don't worry, Chief. When I'm through with you, your testicles will be the last thing you have to worry about. Chief, prepare to be boarded.
Whatever, he's in love with her, I suppose. Why would you yearn to share your brain space with an AI again? You have no privacy when she's around. I can't think of a soul that would miss that aside from like an incel. And I would say that matches Master Chief, but they made him have sex. So he can't be an incel,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that the rule?
You can't be an incel if you get busy. That's the rules. Like, I've literally seen like stories on like these incel forums where people have to come clean and admit that they have in fact recently been laid, and they get banned from the forums as a result. And it is so funny.
No joke. They make Master Chief, the badass from the video games, go to this club place where there's an AI you can dress up however you want. He makes this AI look the way he wants them to look so he can pretend like he's talking to someone else.
I love my holographic girlfriend.
I'm just gonna be upfront. I never pictured Master Chief like this ever in my entire life.
Like,
So
this
it's just
isn't
kind of
Master
strange
Chief.
that the official Halo show would depict him this way.
Genuinely, like, this is like some Cyberpunk 2077 shit. What is this?
I couldn't help but notice you were looking awfully long at the other guys during training today.
During episode 2, Kai says to Master Chief, it's like they don't trust us. I guess she forgot about all the insubordination and treason that Master Chief committed during season 1. Or maybe the showrunners forgot that he did that. It's just
I wouldn't be
weird
surprised
that
if they
Kai
just
would
forgot
be
about it.
confused why the UNSC doesn't trust them. I mean, to be fair, during season 1, after Chief did all this bullshit with Quan, the UNSC was like, well, he's kind of rough around the edges. Give him a break.
A little bit.
For action. Or I'll find somebody who will.
Are you threatening to go over my head, John?
Sir, respectfully, go fuck yourself up the ass. I am the master motherfucking chief.
John and Kai look at a Spartan team wall that tells them the status of various operations. But instead of being digital, they have this guy whose job it is to change the board. You know how like a fast food worker would change the words on one of those signs that...
Why is it not just digital? Did they only have it like it's like a physical, like a pasteboard thing? Just to have an interaction with a guy?
Face the road. So that's kind of strange.
They could have
I
easily
think.
done it
Not
with like
exactly
a
the most
holographic
efficient
dumb
way to go
AI
about
or
doing
something.
this, but it is what it is. And the only reason they have it done this way is so John can ask this guy what is going on with Cobalt team. Oh, and apparently my team is up there too. You see it, right? In the bottom right-hand corner?
Sigma.
Team. Yeah, I'm on that team. It isn't always easy being Sigma. It is what it is. Master Chief on Silver Team, whatever. Huh? So since Madrigal is gone, what does Quan do in season 2? Well, she's a slave, which is so funny. She's a slave on Rubble, a pirate asteroid. The same pirate asteroid.
So she achieved nothing in her entire character arc throughout season 1.
That Master
Amazing.
Chief brought Quan to in
Amazing.
order to save
Just
her from the
no
UNSC.
notes.
Remember Soren? I know I'm kind of reiterating myself from the first video, but yeah, Soren is John's friend. That was until John betrayed him. So John brought this woman he was trying to save to the guy he betrayed, who's now a pirate. And what happens? She ends up a slave. It's so funny to me how they forced John to save this random woman. He betrayed everybody in his life to save her, only to bring her to one of the most inhospitable places in the galaxy. Are you shitting me? Good job, John. Looks like your mission was a success. I think it would have been better if Quan was just outright murdered by John, like they
I
ordered him to
guess,
do in
yeah.
the first season. So instead of
Yeah,
being
it would have
killed
been
by
less of a
Master
waste of
Chief,
time.
at least she gets to live a life of suffering. They put a tracker in her ear, and she has to rip it out to escape her captor. I think it's so funny how John
Bruh.
tasked Soren with looking after this girl, and he was like, yeah, sure, dude. They go through all this shit in season 1. Soren leaves her for dead, only to save her at the end of season 1. After saving her and Madrigal, the planet is destroyed, and Quan is sold into slavery.
Absolute waste of time. Complete and utter waste of time.
I think Soren was probably not the best choice. It honestly would have been better if Master Chief brought Quan anywhere else than Rubble. Why
Yeah.
the hell would he bring her to a pirate-controlled asteroid? It makes no sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. In the books, The Cole Protocol, Rubble is not just like a den of scum and villainy, because in this, they're clearly treating it just like the Mos Eisley of Halo, when in the books, or the book singular that it appears in, Halo the Cole Protocol, like it is mostly just like an intricate hidden system of like human society living independent of the UNSC. It's basically just like a place that's like has insurrectionist sympathies, but not entirely an insurrectionist outpost. Just like people that want to be governed outside of the UNSC. And yeah, there's some delusional people in it who believe that the UNSC are the ones at fault for the Human Covenant War because they don't have all the details. But at the same time, it's not like this den of scum and villainy either.
You know that idiot is spelled with just one letter? You!
Literally bring her to the next available planet, anywhere.
Oh, I
Drop her
love
off where
Ongoy.
there's people and
I
be
love
like,
grunts.
hey, you want a friend? Here you go. She has better chances there than she does on a pirate asteroid. And that's not even putting into account the fact that John betrayed this guy. Come on, dude. It's just so funny to me that Soren didn't uphold this agreement at all. Riz got injured and she's scared to show it. Her trainer is this random retired blind Spartan, and he has some words of wisdom for her. There's more to life than being a Spartan, you know.
There's other things to be, other ways to live.
We learn that
Who is this random blind Spartan?
Corporal Perez did not corroborate Chief's story about the elites who ambushed them. Yeah, so the elites that ambushed them, they randomly stopped attacking because McKee was there in the shadows and she made them stop. She still likes him a lot. Soren's wife is big mad and wants him back, while Kessler, their son, is bonding with Quan. Halsey is stuck in some sort of simulation with a girl named Julia. We learn that Ackerson is keeping her captive, and this girl Julia is Ackerson's sister. Ackerson also has Cortana.
Cortana, she's secure.
And he's got the special glowing rock. I have to say, I like Cortana's new actress. I think she fits the role better. So Ackerson is trying to take down Chief.
So they're trying to make Ackerson the big villain. I know in the books Ackerson was a dick. Granted, he was outright like vindictive against Halsey and Chief in some of the books. But like he was still like very much on the side of humanity and wouldn't just condemn some of their best assets like this against the Covenant. Like he was responsible for spearheading the Spartan 3 program and gave his life to destroy an entire Covenant battle fleet when they invaded Earth. Like he was literally being tortured on the moon and tricked a brute shipmaster and led them all into a trap that got them all destroyed. So it's like Ackerson gave his life as a hero. So just making him this unabashed villain, as much of a dick as he was in canon.
Riz is trying to come to terms with the fact that she might not be a Spartan for much longer. Chief travels to Perez's home to get some answers, and he's invited to dinner. One of Perez's brothers asks Chief what his KDR is in a game called Spartan Attack.
Come on, man, you don't play Spartan Attack? Kill
Oh my god, this is beyond parody how bad this is. beyond parody. Like, at this point in the Human Covenant War, like, I don't know what time we're even at. But, like, the Spartans were kind of, like, mythical. But they weren't, like, to the extent to where there's an entire fucking video game about them.
Death ratio?
It's very clever because Halo is based off of a video game, and KDR is a video game term.
Oh my god.
Perez lied because she couldn't make sense of why she survived. John is going against orders, again, in order to save a different Spartan team, Cobalt, who's stuck on Reach.
So, we're cleared for combat.
This guy has an insubordination issue, I think. Granted, nobody ever listens to Master Chief for some reason. I mean, I wouldn't either based on the
So why is a random Spartan fire team going missing on Reach? You know, the second most important human stronghold aside from Earth. Why?
random bullshit he tried to pull in season 1. It's hard to blame anybody. For some reason, none of the Marines' battle rifles have any recoil. And these guys are sent into pitch blackness, and they don't have flashlights. They just kind of walk into pitch blackness hoping for the best. Oh my god, we learned that Makia's still alive. Yay!
Yeah, clearly
Wait,
she's still...
She's alive? Remember when this happened in season 1?
This isn't real.
I guess she
Rip.
survived that.
I guess.
Spoiler alert, we never learn how. And I am not pleased to see her again. I was very satisfied to know that she died during season 1. I thought, hey, without her, season 2 will definitely be improved, right? We watch as she walks up to another glowing rock. Why does this show love glowing rocks so much? Episode 3 starts with Silver Team on Reach. Not gonna lie, I was pretty hyped that they were on Reach, because Reach is pretty important in the Halo lore. But it starts being cool very fast, and I'll explain why. Silver Team is apprehended by the UNSC and brought in for insubordination and a bunch of other things. Chief is suspended from active duty until he passes a psych eval. Apparently, Ackerson was trying to cover up Cobalt's mission by changing their flight plan, which made Chief out to be a crazy person.
Can I talk to
This is Oni. All of it. This is Ackerson.
And apparently,
I mean, that would track. Oni would do something like that. I mean... Like, Jesus. The Office of Naval Intelligence is just all over the place, dog.
there's no records of these changes anywhere. We meet Ackerson's dad, who is going senile, and he explains that he built a bridge.
You see that bridge? I built that bridge.
It's very important. Just kidding, it's not. His dad dies like the next episode.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
But he built a bridge. Soren's wife Lara is doing stuff on rubble to try and find a way to save her husband. But I don't
Of course
care.
she is.
Like, I hardly cared for Soren in the first place. He wasn't likable at all. He felt like a forced character in every way. He had practically no agency in the show except for his involvement with Quan. But then they throw that out the window entirely in season 2. This
God, it's so bad.
Kessler. His entire arc is about his son now. Why is this stuff so random? If you're going to have someone kidnapped and then focus the show on how you're going to get
so
that person
dumb.
saved,
Oh
then
my
you better
God.
be damn sure the person that was kidnapped was someone the audience liked. I'm pretty sure in season 1 they were trying to make him out to be like this cool gunslinger guy, like this badass ex-Spartan who's now a pirate king, I guess.
They're trying to make him into like the Han Solo of the series, and it's just not working.
Yes, he doesn't take shit from anybody. They weren't successful with that at all. And
You know what? In fact, let me see something real quick. Let's see. Halo Season 1 air date. I'm Googling this. March 24th, 2022. Yeah, that certainly tracks. From the looks of it, I guess, they're just trying to, like, take this guy and make him into, like, their personal OC for, like, their own Mandalorian show or something. That seems like what they're trying to do, in my opinion.
what's with this random obsession with him trying to find Halsey all of a sudden?
A bounty for Catherine Halsey.
He wasn't doing that in season 1, I don't think. His main motivator in season 1 was money. Quan was like, hey, I'll give you a bunch of money if you help me. And he was like, sure.
And now he
all
wants
right, let's
random
go.
revenge
If I were to give you some money out of
against...
my wallet, would that Ease the pain.
He wasn't on this mission to try and find Halsey.
Oh,
So
Ron
weird.
Burgundy.
I like Fiona O'Shaughnessy. I think she's a good actress. I really loved her in the show Utopia.
He likes some shit music. Is this shit?
It's just too bad her character in this show hinges on a different character that I didn't care all that much for in the first place. And then there's this subplot with Riz and her random instructor. She shows up at his place because I think she likes him, kind of, but then she finds out that he's gay. It's just so random.
Okay, so if her instructor is supposed to be a former Spartan, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they should know each other already pretty well if he's a former Spartan. Because unless they're just throwing all canon out the window, which is entirely possible with this dog-ass show. And the idea that she wouldn't know that he's gay, because all the Spartans, all of them that were alive and knew each other, knew everything about each other, because they were the closest thing to family that they had. Like, literally, like in the book Halo Glasslands, when Saren Osman is putting together her team, her Kilo 5 team, a secret Oni team for a secret Oni mission, one of the members is a Spartan 2 by the name of Naomi. And as soon as Naomi looks at her, it takes her a minute, but she recognizes Saren Osman as being formerly a Spartan trainee. Someone who washed out with the augmentation process and didn't make it to being a full Spartan because of the augmentations. Because she washed out. She didn't take the augmentations. And right away recognized her. So it's like, these Spartans recognize each other pretty close to family. Which is why I never find, like, a romance between two Spartans to be believable, because they're like, because they consider each other to be like brothers and sisters.
Oh my God, you're gay.
Oh, sorry, Riz. You can't Riz a gay man. She's trying to figure out a life for herself outside the Spartan program, but she's a nothing character. She impacts the story 0%. I'm so confused
Absolutely zilch
why
nada.
this show is trying to develop her. Maybe she'll have an impact in season 3. I'm sure they have this all planned out. You know, it's meticulous. John thinks it's a great idea to knock out the two guys who are monitoring him so he can escape and do whatever he wants, which I guess is to go on a solo mission to save Cobalt Team.
Okay, first of all, why would they only have two guys to escort the Master Chief on, like, charges like that? When Master Chief was 14 years old, he killed 3. Well, he killed 2. I think it was killed 2 and crippled a 3rd. ODST. On accident. Not just Marines, ODSTs. The closest thing to being a Spartan without getting a whole bunch of augmentations to turn you into a bullet-munching freak. And it was on accident, and he was 14 years old. So why did they think 2 random schmucks would be able to keep the Master Chief contained if he was prone to going AWOL?
Why is John Halo so impulsive and stupid in this show? He hardly ever thinks. He just does. He's like a big dumb gorilla trying to get a banana that's on top of a mountain. Like, what the fuck? Kai is desperately trying to defend Chief, but his actions aren't making that very easy.
Incapacitated the soldiers and escaped this facility.
I mean, clearly Ackerson is up to no good too, but still.
Clearly.
Quan, Lara, and her son try to steal a ship, but they fail. It's so funny they try to make this grand escape with the ship, but they're like a mile away from the hangar doors, so the doors just close when they steal the ship. It wasn't thought through very well. We also
Clearly
learn that
not.
Ackerson believes that victory against the Covenant is impossible.
We're going to fight, we're just not going to win.
I like Admiral Keyes in this show. What I don't like is how they killed him.
Admiral Keyes? Why is he suddenly an admiral? Like, they could have had any other admiral. They could have had Admiral Preston J. Cole. They could have had Admiral Danforth Whitcomb. Why did they take Captain Keyes, an integral character for the siege of the Halo Ring, like for the incident of the Halo Ring, and took him completely out by making him an admiral?
And we'll get there. Also, where is Sergeant Johnson?
If we don't get the hell out of here.
You hit Marine.
No, sir.
Then listen up. You had your chance to be afraid before you joined my beloved corps.
I love Sergeant Johnson, but he's just
Sergeant Johnson
non-existent
is
in this
the
show.
best character.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
His voice is like fucking it tingly on the eardrums. God damn, I love Sergeant Johnson.
I know I'm pretty, but we need to get to work.
Come on, dude.
Damn right
It's like
you
they
are.
took Sergeant Johnson and Keyes from the game and tried to wrap them into one character, Admiral Keyes, in this show. And I don't like that, because this guy kind of looks like Sergeant Johnson, but he's named Admiral Keyes, and he gives a speech to the Marines, kind of like Sergeant Johnson would, even though Keyes was out in the field in the games too.
Good luck to you, Spartan.
It's just one of those changes
Yeah,
that
like,
makes no sense, really. I think
it really
separating that
doesn't.
character would have been a lot better, because then you have two characters that could be compelling in different ways. The higher-up guy who's trying to fend for Chief, and then the sergeant who's in charge of the Marines, who has a fun personality full of bravado.
All you greenhorns who wanted to see Covenant up close, this is gonna be your lucky day.
While Admiral Keyes should be cold and calculating.
The Covenant kept saying that whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Like that's just thinking about it just pisses me off even more. Just how Halo has so many good, compelling characters, and this show just has none of that.
So Lara put Quan in charge of Kessler, and she's like, take Kessler and escape somehow, and I will give myself up so you can escape.
Wait for my move, then get Kessler out of here.
Ackerson places Soren into Halsey's little simulation prison thing. This part I kinda liked. It's interesting, you know, you have this Spartan who's face to face in this place where Halsey has no power, and he can finally confront her about all of his grievances. What's weird about this is that Ackerson has no frame of reference. Unless Soren told him, he doesn't know that Soren is looking for Halsey. But I guess he informed Ackerson off screen, so Ackerson's like, this would be funny, and he puts him in the same room. I guess he did this as a way to like make things uncomfortable for Halsey, just to be like a dick, I guess. So Lara is a pirate prisoner
he is a
now.
dickhead.
This guy that used to work for them is now the captain, I suppose. And his
He's the
right-hand
captain
woman
now.
is just Bellatrix Lestrange. Why is this dude wearing a fishnet shirt over his long sleeve? Questionable fashion choice. But hey,
For
so then
real,
Quan
why?
saves Lara. I guess she's a psychopathic murderer now, and she single-handedly took out all these pirates with a knife. Whatever. Sure.
Bad character writing.
They had guns, by the way. And the best part is, she abandoned Lara's kid to save her.
Of
I'm
course
sure
she
she'll
did.
Like that. So now this
I'm
poor
sure.
little guy is being shipped off to God knows where without a guardian. I guess Quan was like, we'll figure that out later. She saved Lara because she knew that she was gonna die if she didn't. I know, that was the point.
Yeah.
She put you in charge of her son, so make sure her son is safe. That's what she asked you to do.
Yeah.
She didn't ask you to save her, so now her son's in jeopardy, and she's safe. And
The writing is just getting so much worse every time. I think it's bad, it gets worse.
Lara is never upset about this, which is so weird. John meets Perez at a church, and she has this random recording from Sanctuary, and it's an elite saying a prayer that she translated somehow. I guess she can speak their language. It's just part of Marine training. You know, you gotta learn the Covenant's language. Everybody knows it. Did you guys know that Vanek has pet pigeons? It's very important. It shows his humanity, the fact that he likes pigeons. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the city is being destroyed. All the power goes out, so Halsey and Soren are able to escape their prison. The intro to this episode is pretty cool, but Chief doesn't have his armor, so it's just John again, you know, like usual. John
Amazing.
throws hands with the Covenant who are invading Reach, and the CGI is a solid 8 out of 10, for the most part. It ranges from 6 to 8, I would say. I don't
That
think
is
a
some
scene
very
has to
shoddy
directly
looking
impact the
CGI.
plot to be impactful. But if it doesn't impact the plot, then you better make it impactful. Kind of like with this next scene, one of my favorites in the show so far. And it's with this random woman that John and Perez come across. She's holed up in her antique shop, protecting it with a shotgun. She speaks about how the relics of the past matter, and how they tell a story of humanity, and how they even matter, despite the fact that they'll ultimately be destroyed by the Covenant.
If nothing matters, then we don't matter.
This one random character impacted me more than anything else in the show. This little old lady and her antique shop, protecting it from an alien invasion with a shotgun.
Yeah, like, if they were gonna do, like, a whole Halo show, I wish we could have had, like, moments like that, but more moments of, like, actual Halo stuff. Like, show us, like, the humanity of the human race, but also just do more Halo stuff, and not, like, melodramas and B-stories and romance subplots. None of that.
I love that. It's so good. I'm sad to say that's mostly where my praise ends. Not entirely. There's still some little bits here and there that I liked, but let's continue. We get a scene of Halsey and Soren speaking on their past. Halsey tells Soren that he wanted to be a Spartan since he was very young, and that she never had to kidnap him. Soren says, "Bro, I was 6 years old." And Halsey retorts, "So what? You knew you wanted to be a Spartan, even at 6. Do you know?"
Dog, I don't even know what I want to eat when I'm 6 years old. Like, the logic a lot of the Spartans have these days, like, some of them have regrets, some of them have, like, misgivings or second thoughts, but for the most part, the Spartans have, like, collectively this idea of, like, well, I wouldn't have any other thing if not for this. And some even look at it as, like, getting a second chance. Like, John, for example, his home planet was one of the first few, like, planets that were glassed by the Covenant. So he believes, if not for the fact that he was picked up and taken for the Spartan program, he would be dead. So he views it as, like, a second chance to do good.
You know how insane you sound? Yeah, okay, psycho lady. Just like when I was 6, I thought I was gonna be a Super Saiyan when I grew up. I mean, it kind of panned out. Despite their differences, Halsey and Soren are forced to work together to survive.
Oh, goodness.
The Fall of Reach is pretty
That's
cool.
a lot of
but I think
bodies.
I'm only saying that because it's the Fall of Reach, and it has a lot of lore implications.
Yeah.
I know I would have loved this scene so much more if Chief and the other Spartans were in their armor. It just sucks that they weren't. This whole part is pretty cool up until Chief and Riz find their way onto a staircase, and then suddenly the flash on their guns look like tiny flashlights, like the effects department forgot to edit this part or something.
They absolutely forgot to edit this part. That looked so awful. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the hell?
So remember Riz's trainer, this random blind guy? Well, his gay partner dies, and it's supposed to be this sad moment. But we had one scene with the guy. We don't know him at all. Also, how is this blind guy fighting the Covenant? How is he making his way around?
Are you sure you're okay to drive? My hands are armed.
What? He's blind, remember, show? Well, he sacrifices himself to destroy a wraith.
Oh.
That he couldn't have known was there. I mean, sure, he can probably hear some stuff happening, but it's
I
probably
guess.
so loud that he couldn't differentiate one thing from the next. Whatever, dude. It's Halo. It's not supposed to be realistic.
Run.
McKee shows up with terrible-looking makeup and steals Cortana. John and Riz are told by Vanek that their suits were taken by the UNSC.
We're just going to get suited up.
The armor's gone, Chief.
Great. I audibly sighed when he told him this.
Doing everything they can in a Halo show to prolong the fact that Master Chief isn't in his armor. Oh my god.
This is obviously just an excuse to give us as many scenes as they can without them wearing their suits. I get it, CGI is expensive, and I'm sure it's uncomfortable for the actors to be running around in these suits. But that's what you signed up for. It's a Halo show.
Does he look like a bitch?
I don't care if they have to cut it down to 5 episodes and make it sick, you know? Make it a really good 5-episode limited series or something and put all of your budget into it. Make them wear their suits. You know, just because he's wearing a suit doesn't mean he has to be rolling around, sprinting, or kicking ass. He can just be there in his suit, and it's still cool because Halo fans like seeing Spartans wearing Halo armor.
Yeah. that is in fact true.
The Elmer's gone, Chief.
But he only has it on for 3 episodes of the 8, I think. Maybe 2? I don't remember. I'm not
God,
sure,
that
but it
is
feels like
so
he's wearing his suit
bad.
less this season than he was in the first season. So not only did they ignore the fans, they made it worse. Like, what? I'm sure Pablo Schreiber wants his screen time, you know? I want everybody to see my face because I'm an actor and I need everybody to know it's me. I'm not saying it's Pablo's fault, okay? I just feel like the showrunners need to hear something. Sometimes less is more.
There's a reason why this show is canceled after this season.
Say Chief takes his helmet off twice in an entire season. For a total of like 5 minutes he has his helmet off. Then people would be so much more invested in what he looks like. And it would be a much cooler moment, wouldn't it? It'd be like, holy shit, this is Chief, this is cool. Like, damn, we don't see this very often. But we'd still be pleased with the rest of the show because we like seeing Master Chief as Master Chief.
Very true.
So now it's Keyes, Chief, and the Marines versus the Covenant as the higher-ups escape the planet. I think Chief's presence during this part would be a lot more effective if he were in his armor, but they try and spin it so it's like, oh my god, this is Master Chief without his armor. If he's here without his armor, then that means that we really stand a chance if he believes it, when in reality, I think most of them would be thinking, he's not gonna be very useful, is he? I'd be a lot more confident if he was in his armor.
Yeah, like, on one hand, Spartans are still incredibly powerful, even without their armor. On the other hand, just give them the fucking armor. Give them the armor.
Give us this random guy, I guess. If I were a Marine and our planet was being attacked by the Covenant and Master Chief comes out without armor on and he's like, all right, guys, let's do this. We're probably fucked. It sucks so bad because during this scene, I'm like, this would be kind of cool if Master Chief looked like Master Chief. Later during this episode, some jackals bounce up and deploy their shields and it's pretty cool. Although Soren should definitely be dead during this scene. Just watch how this plays out.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is this dude alive? I've played all of the Halo games, and if there's one thing I know about jackals, they don't fucking miss.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Jackals have impeccable aim. If you know, you know. If you've been down Sniper Jackal Alley in level 2, in Master Chief's level 2, Sniper Jackal Alley, legendary, they don't miss.
There's a part when Keyes is surrounded, and I'm fully expecting them to take him captive. But instead, he sacrifices himself so Perez and the rest can leave safely by setting off an explosion directly next to the ship as it's taking off. Not the best plan, but hey.
Punch it.
I can't do that, sir.
I'm pretty sad that we won't be able to see the horrific Flood Keyes reveal.
Yeah, that alone, removing that alone, like Captain Keyes integrated into the Proto Gravemind, that alone is so detrimental. Like that moment with Captain Keyes in the Proto Gravemind, everything surrounding it is so monumental to the plot, the reveal, Keyes' character. But no. Instead, he dies blowing up a bunch of jackals, which are enemies that you could kill in one shot with some well-placed headshots. And they had to put artificial tension in the show by taking away Master Chief's armor.
God, that's such an iconic moment from Combat Evolved, and it's just not going to be in the show. So that's cool.
He's one of them.
I'm sure they'll replace it with something great. They'll probably do it to Perez instead.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
This random girl that we were just introduced to. I don't care. Why does this show suck so bad? Also, for some reason, a ton of the Covenant use energy swords in this show. It almost feels like more Covenant use energy swords than they use guns, which is definitely not the case in the games. In the games, it's a very select few that use energy swords. Sometimes you'll have a little group come at you and they're all using swords, but for the most part, you're fighting Covenant with guns.
Yeah.
I guess they just had to give most of the Covenant swords to make it more realistic that these people would survive. Because in a live action setting, the Covenant can't lunge 50 feet with their swords and kill you. Chief tries using one of these swords to fight them, but he doesn't have any armor on. I guess he forgot. He's not the smartest person alive. He's then shot and almost killed until McKee saves him. What is this, the second time?
Also, were those jackals using energy swords? Like, I get the elites using energy swords, but jackals don't use swords. The only things jackals use are plasma pistols and needlers, and that's it. And even then, it's mostly like plasma pistols or beam rifles at a distance. Elites are the only thing that use swords because the energy swords are based directly off of Sangheili culture. Jackals don't use them.
Why is she here anyway? She just keeps popping up randomly. Is she helping with the invasion or something? It makes no sense.
Oh.
Also, Vanek is killed with a needler. Which is
Bruh.
pretty cool. I like needlers, but the way it happens is pretty stupid. But he kind of just lets it sit in his chest when he knows what it's about to do. I think if someone lodged a grenade in my chest, I would probably try and take it out and throw it. Maybe
yeah,
he wants to die, so I didn't really think about that. I wish his death was better executed, and I wish we had more time to like Vanek. Throughout most of season 1, he's just like this serious asshole, and there's like one scene in season 2 where he's like,
just a random death for death's sake. Oh my god.
Hey, I like animals.
It's
Did you
so
know that?
bad.
And he has some friend pigeons, I suppose.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, cool. That's not enough, okay? So he dies, and then there's a hole in the ceiling with the pigeons flying around, and it's like, oh my god, those are his friend pigeons. They're here to say goodbye or something.
Oh
It's
my
so
god.
dumb. I felt nothing when this happened. And what makes this worse is that his death was supposed to cause a ripple effect in the show. It impacts Chief to such a degree that he starts making decisions that he might not have. It would have been really cool if we got to see Vanek and Chief
Oh, it's so
before
bad.
Vanek died. That way when we see Chief all depressed and brooding later on, it kind of makes sense. But to me, it didn't seem like Chief really liked Vanek all that much. He didn't spend all that much time with the guy. And then when he dies, it's like, oh my god, he was like a brother to me. Didn't you guys know that? I thought that was obvious in the show. I know that they grew up together, okay? And they have a serious military relationship, I suppose. But still, dude, let them bond or something.
Yeah, if you're not going to show the Spartans' relationship, then why do it at all? Honestly.
A loss in a show only works.
It's just sad
if
to
we cared about
watch.
that person, or if we cared
It's
about the
sad
people
to
that
watch
cared
is
about
how
that person.
bad
But
this show
does such
is.
a terrible job convincing the audience that they're supposed to care about these Spartans. Their banter sucks, and I don't care that he all of a sudden likes animals. It means nothing to me.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like, it doesn't matter that he's suddenly fucking Harold the Pigeon guy from Spider-Man. It doesn't matter, because his character has no personality outside of that.
It would have been really cool if we got a scene
Good morning, Portal.
of Vanek preparing for his future in some way, you know? Like, oh, I'm gonna open up a zoo or something because I love animals. It makes a death more impactful when we think something's gonna happen in the future, but it's ripped away from us. Either that or Vanek sacrifices himself to save his friends, which would have worked better if their friendship was stronger, and he was fighting alongside his friends. It's just the fact that the show stripped them of their armor to kill them easier makes it so much worse. If they were in their armor and they took off his helmet and started beating his face to a pulp, that would have been a better death, I think. And have him still fight back even though he's getting his ass beat. Like,
Yeah.
that would be so much cooler than a
Like, have him go
needle
down
in his
swinging.
chest.
Like, give him, like, the Noble Six death. Like, going down swinging, taking down elites with him. But instead, he has a single needler bolt in his chest.
We don't get to think of Vanek as a badass. His death was so weak and unceremonious that it ends up kicking the show in the balls, because later they have this funeral scene. There's this whole thing about needing to bury him, but John doesn't want to. John's all sad about it. God, this would all be so much better if his death meant more.
If only.
Episode 5 starts with armorless Spartans fighting the Covenant. It just doesn't feel the same. I know they're technically Spartans, okay, but it doesn't feel like they're Spartans. Spartans just aren't Spartans without their armor.
Exactly.
It's just true, okay?
Pretty much,
you take
yeah.
Darth Vader out of his armor and you give him a lightsaber. It's not the same, alright? He's just this wrinkly, dying dude. Spartans are their armor. What doesn't this show understand about that? Hilariously, Riz goes on a suicide rush to retrieve Vanek's body, only to get blasted in the back. Like, what did you think was gonna happen, you dumbass? What a moron.
Bruh.
All of that to save a corpse. I know it's the principle of it, but like, is his body really worth risking your life for? What should have happened is Vanek stays behind and is getting his ass kicked, but we never see him die, right? But it's very heavily implied that he's dead. Riz isn't sure that he's dead, so Riz tries to save him, but John stops her. Much later in the show, we could see Vanek come back, but he's been infected by the flood. Or they could go the Keyes route, since Keyes is dead, and he can, you know, talk to them through comms and be like, oh my god, guys, I'm here, save me. Or he can just talk to them, and then they can try and save him, only to find that he's infected by the flood. That'd be cool.
Could have been
he's
cool.
just dead, so yeah, they killed him with the needle. The Arbiter did it.
This was the bravest
A
foe I
needler.
have ever fought. In better times, I'd have called him friend.
The reason they did it this way is because they wanted to make the Arbiter Master Chief's arch nemesis. And so they had the Arbiter kill Vanek in front of him. I get that, okay?
Why is there suddenly a random arbiter, by the way? Why is there suddenly a random arbiter? Because I needed a character for season 2 to introduce? There wasn't an arbiter in place until after Master Chief blew up the Halo ring. Like, the whole purpose of an arbiter is that they are an elite of high standing who is put in basically such a dishonorable position that they are given the title of arbiter and sent on suicide missions. Oh my god, the show doesn't even understand what it's using. God damn it.
I still think it would have been better if instead of killing him outright, they did what I said they should have done, but they just showed the Arbiter beating the shit out of Vanek. Maybe cut off his leg or something, you know? Still give Master Chief a reason to hate the Arbiter. But then they couldn't have the funeral scene later, and that's very important, because we have to
I
have
guess
Quan
so.
bury him. It's very important to give Quan and Master Chief something to talk about, and they have to talk about Vanek's body.
What?
Chief doesn't want to bury it. It's
Why
not
is
the Spartan
Quan
way.
still
You don't
buried?
bury
Why is
Spartans,
Quan still
okay? You
here?
just let them rot. It's what Spartans do. Is that from the books? Is that real? If so, it's stupid. John gets his shit wrong.
I mean, there are moments like most Spartans, if they die, they usually die in the field. And their armor specifically has a miniature nuclear warhead in it. Not like a big one. I'm talking just like small enough, like large enough to rock a sizable room. And it's built out of the miniature nuclear reactors that power their suits. Well, it's not nuclear, but a miniature fusion reactor. So it's a fusion bomb in their suits that acts basically as like a failsafe to prevent the technology from falling into enemy hands. Like the Spartan Alice, who died on a Covenant refueling platform, the Unyielding Hierophant, after the events of Halo 1 and before the events of Halo 2. She died after being blown in half by sustained fire from a brute shot. And Master Chief, John, set her armor to detonate as a last hurrah, which was ironic in her case because she was a demolitions expert in one that was high in explosives. So that was like a final glorious fuck you from Alice to the Covenant in the eyes of John and the other Spartans.
Walked by a hammer-wielding brute. Man, if only he had armor on. He then says, if I just had my armor.
You don't say!
Yeah, I think everybody watching this is saying that exact thing. I guess we should give the show some points for being self-aware. We then get a scene between the Arbiter and McKee. I can't help but think about how much more I would enjoy this show if McKee didn't exist. The Arbiter is searching for the Keystones, the special glowing rocks that will activate the ring. And he also wants to kill Chief. They spend practically no time developing the Arbiter. He just kind of shows up and he's on a mission. John and Halsey are reunited, and oh, does he have some fiery words for her.
Tell me what you see. Is it a woman or a weapon?
McKee then speaks to Cortana about Chief, and Cortana is not to be bossed around. They aren't getting along one bit. They're enemies. Oh my god, I forgot to mention that Chief is reunited with Quan finally!
Of
the girl
course.
he sacrificed everything to save, and he has all but nothing to say to her. It would be neat if he apologized for abandoning her with a bunch of pirates.
No.
I mean, granted, he's still very upset about Vanek's death, but he doesn't even ask how she's been or what has happened since they separated. Nothing.
Nothing
He
at
doesn't
all.
give a shit about this girl all of a sudden.
Neither do we.
This girl. He saves her only to abandon her and then act like she never existed. It's so weird. And she doesn't have any words for him either. I know he saved her life technically, but he did so in the worst possible way. It's very strange that Quan doesn't seem very surprised to see Chief, the same guy that she had that vision about that led to the Super Mario pipe. Remember? That was very important. They meet and she's like, whatever. It's just Master Chief. Lyra and Soren try locating their son on this random planet. They ask this guy with a beard if he's seen him, and the man insinuates that he could have been sold for child labor or worse.
Especially little ones. People pay good money.
Bruh.
Bruh. Bruh.
If I was Lyra, I would throw Quan off a cliff for saving my life and abandoning my child to a life of hell. They find him in this giant book of names almost immediately. It's so weird in shows when there's this giant book, this ledger of some sort, and they open it up and it lands on the page that they want to see, and they go straight to the name, and it's like, oh my god, there they are. Why do shows do this? Why
Because
can't
they're
they
bad.
flip the book a little bit?
Because the shows are bad and they need things to to have plenty of happenstance, so you can be convenient with your shitty pacing.
You know, look for the page. They just open it up directly to the page they need to get to, and they find the name. It's not realistic. John is being a huge douche to Quan, who simply wants to help him bury his friend.
I can't help you.
I can't help you, he says. Damn, bro, chill. I mean, you certainly wanted to help her when everything in your life was at stake. What changed? Oh, your friend died. So now this girl means nothing to you.
Pretty much.
Okay. This is what losing a friend does to a man, even when you're a Spartan. I know they're supposed to be emotionally inept because they took their little pellets out of their neck or back or whatever, and they didn't have the proper time to develop their emotions, so now they're just a bunch of crybabies. Oh, I hate that. Why'd they do that?
Yeah, like, the whole pellet thing is so stupid. It's so goddamn stupid. I keep saying it's stupid. It's just so damn stupid. Also, hi, PokeLink. Yeah, it's so fucking stupid.
Such a terrible, terrible decision. Lyra takes her wig off because she's done acting fake. Oh my god, it was Jessica Hyde all along! Riz is told by Halsey that she'll never be the soldier that she once was because her injuries are that severe.
The damage is significant.
Riz's entire arc is like, oh my god, I'm hurt and I won't be a Spartan anymore. What am I gonna...
Okay, so, a few things. What kind of damage is it? Are we talking like spinal damage? Like, first of all, the bones of a Spartan were made and augmented basically to be indestructible. If it was organ damage, that can be repaired. Because we know in Halo, at this point, it is not a difficult task to flash clone organs. Because, literally, during the fall of Reach, Linda, one of Master Chief's closest companions, is killed and is clinically dead by the time she gets to the Pillar of Autumn. She is put in cryosleep with the hope that she can be saved, and by the time they find her again, after the Pillar of Autumn ejects its cryopods into space before making its crash landing, when Master Chief and the others find her pod and reunite with Halsey on Reach, Halsey, using a derelict UNSC ship's medbay, is able to flash clone and print new organs to replace and transplant into Linda and save her life. So what is stopping them from doing the same thing here, aside for just dramatic tension for dummies?
I do with my life.
Should I be a farmer? Should I start playing basketball? I don't know. What should I do with my life now? I'm so confused because this has never happened before.
I'm a Spartan. I should only be a Spartan. God, I don't care about Riz. I guess it's kind of a clever way to get rid of Riz, because the show is clearly trying to get rid of all of Silver Team except for Chief. So Chief can start acting alone like he does in the games. And this doesn't happen until the end of this season. So we have to watch 2 full seasons before we get to anything that kind of resembles the games. Who wrote this show? It's so weird. Why would you write a Halo show like this? Quan speaks.
Because they didn't want to write the Halo show. They wanted to write their own show, but knew it wouldn't get off the ground, and Paramount just so happened to get the TV rights to the Halo IP. So they used Halo to piggyback for their own shitty story.
To Vanek's body as she's digging a grave for it, and she talks about how she's having a hard time reconciling the loss of Madrigal.
You can't grieve an entire planet.
I kind of already said this, but it's pretty hilarious how her entire planet was destroyed off screen, but we don't get to see her reaction to it. It just happens. Soren and Lyra find the house that took in Kessler, and he's being cared for by 2 women. Just kidding, Kessler isn't here. This is just a way to pad out the show. Although we do get to learn a little bit more about Soren.
Of course it
which
is.
I liked. It's a little bit more
Of course it
character
is.
development for him, so it makes him a little bit more likable. The show
He's gonna
tries
die, isn't he?
sometimes, even though it's during random scenes like this. Vanek has this tiny funeral, and it's kind of cute. Afterwards, Halsey tells John that she found him as a boy because she knows that he's the chosen one who will save humanity. And she knows this because the glowing rocks told her so. I already went over this in the first video, but I hate this. The whole chosen one thing, it sucks. Something to do with his DNA or something. The scientists did all this work to figure out which kids would be the perfect Spartans when they grew up. And they...
I hate it. I hate it so bad. Like, I know there's stuff with, like, Forerunner bullshit, but god damn it, I hate this so much. I hate this chosen one bullshit.
Knew that John would be the ultimate Spartan when he was 6 years old. They knew. I just can't help but think of midichlorians from Star Wars when I watch this shit. Quan speaks to the ghost of the old shaman woman who died in the beginning of the show. Why is Quan receiving a vision from this woman that she never met? I guess because she's a witch. She's a shaman woman. That's what they said in the beginning of the show. This Marine was like, she's like a shaman or something. I don't know.
She's some sort of shaman priest person. A shaman priest person.
So she's very important. This random woman, she's a shaman. Did you know that? She's a witch. So she can talk to Quan.
I don't
because
like it.
Quan is also a chosen one. How many do we have so far? We got McKee, Quan, John. I'm sure there's gonna be another one. Oh, the Arbiter. Speaking of, McKee tries to convince the Arbiter that he's also a chosen one, and he must go to the Halo ring to claim his rightful place in Destiny. And he believes this due to a hologram of the ring that's shown by Cortana. And he's like, oh my god, this must be fate. It's magic that I'm seeing the ring all of a sudden. It's definitely not just technology. I think the Covenant are pretty advanced. You'd think that he would know that. He's a pretty gullible
Yeah, but they need stupid characters for the sake of plot convenience.
guy, I suppose. That's all it takes for him to turn against High Charity. So remember that weird guy that Soren and Lyra came across? And when they asked about his son, he was like, you know, he's probably being trafficked. Lyra goes back and finally does to this guy what I would have done right off the bat. Lyra says to him, you had a mother, right? And the guy responds, yeah? Ding, ding, ding. Correct. You're right. It's the tough questions in this show that get me. Lyra finds out that the UNSC took Kessler.
The UNSC?
Riz gives up the fight despite Chief trying to order her around. Like, the woman is a cripple, dude. Give her a break. What would you have her do? Go out into battle in a wheelchair? She decides to stay behind on planet England as the rest fly away. Also, Kai is now working for Ackerson. He had very little trouble convincing her that the Spartans are evil. Basically, Ackerson was just like, hey, Chief is not trustworthy. You should try and kill him. And Kai was like, hey, I don't think I should do that. And then Ackerson responds, are you sure? And then Key's like, wait a minute. You're right. I never liked him anyway. Perez is now a Spartan in training. She's part of this new group called the Spartan Threes.
Okay. Okay. This doesn't make any sense for multiple reasons. The Spartan 3s were using augmentation processes based off the Spartan 2s. Because of this, they still had to use children for the augmentation process. So unless Perez was a child soldier in the UNSC Marines, it doesn't make any sense for her to be a Spartan 3. It just doesn't. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Genuinely, what the hell are we doing here? And this, in general, is just like... Kai's character is so bad. So awful. So shitty. Because you can tell they're trying to replace like 3 different characters with just Kai. It's like, she's the team sniper. She's also John's best friend. Like, she's the team sniper, like Linda. She's also John's best friend, like Kelly. She's also the one who trained the Spartan 3s, like Kurt. So she's trying to take the role of like 3 different Spartan 2s in the actual canon, because they have no ability to actually write decent characters.
This whole combat simulation scene was pretty cool, I think. Someone gets shot with a needler in this scene, but only a couple needles? How come in this show, when people shoot a needler, it's like 1 or 2 needles? When I get shot in the games with a needler, I look like a fucking porcupine after they're done. And then I explode 1,000 times and fly off into the sun. This show is not like the games, and it makes me very upset. John and the crew land on a mysterious planet called Onyx. I'm not sure if this planet is from the books. It probably is. I haven't read them myself.
Yes. Onyx is from the books. Specifically from the book, Ghosts of Onyx. Onyx is the planet where the Spartan 3s were trained. They were trained there for, I think it's about 20-ish years that the Spartan 3s were in operation, because there was 3 companies, each containing about 300 Spartans. Alpha Company, Beta Company, and Gamma Company. There was going to be a Delta Company, but by that time, they ran out of funds and time and just couldn't justify doing a Delta Company, because the Covenant War was waging on too close to Earth and Reach had just fallen. So they were having to shift focus away from the Spartan 3 program. But yeah, Onyx is where the Spartan 3s were trained for future information.
They're apparently holding Kessler on this planet. John is convinced that they're making Spartans here. Halsey escapes them off screen.
Hi, Rye.
She just runs away. Meanwhile, Quan is having more visions of that random old lady shaman. She leads her to the Super Mario pipe from the first season. So Quan jumps down without thinking. Would have been hilarious to kill her here. Just have her splat on the ground and she's dead. I would have loved that. Like the show.
It would have been hilarious, honestly.
What's some comedy here and there, you know? By sheer stupid luck, she's saved by a gravity field. Also, Halsey is down here as well. So that entire vision of the Mario pipe was just to bring her here so she'll jump down the pipe and find Halsey. But Quan needed another vision of this random shaman to point her to the Mario pipe. I think it would have been better if they did away with the shaman, and instead, Quan just happens upon the pipe and remembers the vision from the first season. Why does she need so many visions? This girl is going crazy.
For real, like,
it's
why
like
does,
she's
like...
constantly...
Why do they have to insert so much mystical stuff? Like, everything... Like, there's no magic in Halo. Forerunner technology might seem magical, but it's not magic.
High on a hallucinogen. God, if I were her, I would bash my head against a rock.
Yeah, it just seems like this chick is just wandering through the forest on a fucking ayahuasca trip or something.
Some men start shooting at Quan. I guess it's shoot on sight if any person is near here. So John starts fucking them up. He's then surrounded, but their shoot on sight policy vanishes all of a sudden, so they take him hostage. I guess they recognized him as Chief, so they didn't shoot to kill, even though he isn't in his armor, so that means that these people must recognize his face. Not the smartest move, John. Instead of putting the guy in heavy-duty handcuffs and ankle chains or something, they have like 8 men hold him with cables? They know this is a Spartan, right? Check out how easily he takes care of these guys. What were they doing? This is the weirdest way to restrain someone I've ever seen.
Nobody has
Atkinson
any
tells
brain
Kai
in the
that
show.
The Covenant attacked the Visegrad relay to cover their assault so they could capture an artifact, which is one of those glowing rocks. But the UNSC was able to save the other one. So remember in season 1 when all those elites abandoned one of these artifacts to kill a bunch of random humans for no reason? Kind of weird how the artifacts are so valuable to them all of a sudden. The show started off
it's like there's no
strange.
consistent vision.
McKee is confused why her powers to use the keystones are gone. So why did they keep McKee alive if she's not a blessed one anymore?
I touched the artifact and nothing happened.
I dislike the character McKee so much, but wasn't there already a link between them during season 1? Like they were talking to each other on the ring before all this happened. So what changed? Why can't she use the artifact all of a sudden? It makes no sense. Because she was injured? What? I think they just took
This
away
doesn't
her
make
powers out
any
of nowhere.
sense.
I don't think this show ever answers that question. So Chief is wandering around this base after kicking the shit out of these men. So I guess there aren't any security cameras after all. Eventually he runs into Kai and she beats the shit out of him as he tries to break her mind conditioning.
I don't want this.
But didn't she already do that when she removed the pellet? Kai is very easily manipulated.
Yeah. It's almost as if the writers of this show don't know what they're doing.
Earlier in this season, John pleaded with them to believe him. He told them that the UNSC was lying, that they were covering up something. And since he mentioned to Kai that he saw McKee on Sanctuary, that's all it took for Kai to be like, yep, John is insane now. He's a crazy person, he's a schizo. Time to put him down. Isn't she the one that shot McKee? I mean, to be honest, I'm also confused how McKee is alive. They don't answer that either. She's just alive still. I guess the Covenant put her in one of their healing pods, just in time. Cortana is being used by the
they do
UNSC's
have
Admiral as an informant to gather information about the Covenant and their plans.
Yeah, they do have
She
some pretty
tells
good
Chief
healing
that
technology.
McKee is with the Arbiter.
I'm with the one they call the Arbiter.
And Chief knows that the Arbiter killed Vanek, so he wants revenge. Then we get a scene with Soren and his wife, looking for their son, again. So
God, just what, like, why is it they have, like, a shitty plot going on already with John? And then they have this shitty heavy rain subplot, just walking around with, like, Soren just going, Jason, Jason! Like, God, why? Why? Who genuinely thought this was a good idea?
This kid came out of nowhere. I don't care about him. I don't. Was this kid even in season 1? Because if he was, I don't remember.
No, sir.
That's how much I cared. Quan and Halsey are off on their side quest doing whatever. And then Quan gets another vision with this old lady that she never met. Kai and Ackerson have their little talks. I just love watching John wander around the galaxy, going from planet to planet, trying to find answers to these questions. He really wants to save Cobalt Team. The same group of people that were complete dickheads to them earlier in the show. We hardly ever...
Second of all, why are Spartan teams being dickheads to each other? Like, why do they insist on like having like the jocks and the nerds competing when all the Spartans are supposed to treat each other like family? They are fundamentally the closest thing to family they have. They were raised together since they were children. Like, the only Spartans I could think of even acting that way is maybe Grey Team. Because Grey Team is, like, the renegades of, like, Spartan teams. Like, Grey Team and maybe Omega Team. They're kind of like loose cannons, but not quite on Grey Team. Like the time that Grey Team, kinda, sorta, dropped a nuke on a Sangheili settlement after the war ended. Because they didn't know that the war ended because they were deep behind enemy lines when the war ended and the word never got to them. Oopsie. Whoopsie doodle.
see this team in the show, and they're assholes.
They insisted on the most attractive team, so sorry, Riz.
This is the team that John is sacrificing everything to save? What is up with this guy? He begged them not to send them to this planet because he knew that the Covenant were there waiting. And lo and behold, he was right, and Cobalt team got wiped out, and he tried to save them, but he didn't get there in time. This John guy sure likes to put his life on the line for people that he shouldn't care about at all. But that's what makes him a hero. And now John's on this random mission to avenge the death of his friend. His missions just keep changing, don't they? He wants to know what the UNSC is up to. He wants to kill this alien. Where's Cobalt team? Oh, yeah. They're dead.
It's almost if the writers don't know what they're writing.
I was right all along. Why is everybody so mean to me? Oh, my best friend's dead. Oh, that shit sucks. But don't bury him, though. Apparently, Ackerson intentionally left the Spartans on Reach without their armor, so they would all be killed.
John said that you left him here for dead, without his armor.
But why? Because they knew the truth about Cobalt team and they could expose them? Is that why? I'm confused. Is it because they weren't controllable enough? You have answers for that.
Because I had to take Ackerson, a complex character in the book.
Control emotions?
It's because I had to take Ackerson, a complex character in the book, and make him into a one-note cartoon villain.
You could do something about this, but no.
No.
This question also isn't answered, really. It's kind of insane that they had sacrificed their most valuable soldier for these reasons. But don't think about that. Kai knows the truth now, so she likes Chief again. Why did she stop liking Chief? Because a different Spartan shot her? McKee is in hot water with the Covenant. The Arbiter believes that she is his answer to greatness, so he kills all the other Covenant aboard their ship to save her life. So the Arbiter in the Halo show is a massive McKee simp.
Oh, yeah.
Did they feel like they had to put this woman in?
God, this is so
people
stupid.
couldn't relate to aliens? Is that why?
This is
like
so
they had to have
stupid.
the Arbiter talking to a human woman because an audience wouldn't like it if he was talking to other aliens. They wouldn't be able to understand or something. They'd be like, oh my god, no one's human. I don't like this. I'm not sure if that's exactly why they made that decision, but if it was, they were wrong.
Very
I love
wrong.
Aliens. Okay, aliens talking to aliens, even cooler, dude. Anyway, McKee and John touch the glowing rocks at the same time, and it works now. 7 episodes in, and we finally get a scene on a Halo ring. But just like in Season 1, it's just a vision.
Of
John
course
is like,
it is.
You're a human traitor, how dare you? And McKee responds, neither humanity nor the Covenant can use the ring, because both sides will use it for evil. Everybody knows that this ring is a huge weapon that can be used to change the course of the war, but they don't know exactly what the ring does, only that it's a weapon. McKee locates the ring through their shared vision somehow. How did McKee learn of its location now, but she didn't learn of it before in Season 1, when they shared very similar visions?
Because
Or
the
did
show is bad
Cortana
writing?
locate it during this vision? If that's so, then how come Cortana asks McKee if she found it? And if this is the case, Cortana was with Chief when this happened before, so she should already know its location. How have
she
McKee's
should.
powers changed that she can all of a sudden find the ring?
Plot convenience. That's what. Plot convenience.
thought she lost her powers. How come she can find the ring now? The UNSC Admiral knows of the location of the ring, and she knows that it's a weapon that they're trying to unlock with the artifacts. So she's sending Spartans to attack them in order to distract them or something.
Ready the Spartan 3s.
And all of these Spartan 3s are wiped out immediately. So she's like, send more.
Deploy the second wave.
Yeah, the first wave just got obliterated, and now you're sending more.
What? The first wave didn't do shit. She thinks sending men into the meat grinder will what? Distract the Covenant from their mission? It's kind of insane to me how fast the Spartan 3s die. Like, they send them in and they die within a minute. But later the UNS...
It really is funny just how much they bastardize so many characters in this show. Like, Admiral Parangoski is not a field admiral. She is the head of the Office of Naval Intelligence. She is one of the most strategically intelligent figures in the Navy. She is basically the head of the Navy branch's specific CIA. And responsible for basically every Black Ops operation going in Black Site prisons. And she just blindly sends a whole bunch of Spartan 3s into the meat grinder. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
He sends in more ships, but this time they last a lot longer. Like, a lot longer. What changed? There's this tiny tuft of hair under Soren's lip, and it bothers me. I just wanted to mention that.
Holy
What is that?
Yeah, I don't
What's
like
the
that.
point in
I don't
growing
like it.
facial hair if you're gonna keep so little of it? I know I have a neck beard right now, but I wasn't trying to insinuate that my facial hair was better. I'm just saying. It's like he forgot to shave that one spot. Soren remembers a time when he was there for his Spartan friends during their training, and since his son is now in that same program, he thinks it's best to leave him in there so he can learn similar lessons. You know, about like teamwork and...
Okay, so some of the people they recruit for the Spartan 3s are children. Okay.
brotherhood and stuff. Wow. Are you on drugs, my guy?
Wow.
What the hell did they do to you?
This ain't a sports
Wow.
team. It's Spartan training. They are cruel as fuck to these kids. It's explained in season 1 that they all got pets that they're forced to kill.
At one point, we're each given pets.
What, she took them away from you? No. She had us eliminate them.
They put inhibitor chips inside of them, so they can't feel anything. And you want that for your son? This show is trying to develop Perez, this random soldier that Chief saved. She's gonna be another Spartan friend of Chief's, so that means she's probably going to die.
I certainly hope so.
I 100% expect that if there's a season 3, Perez is going to be infected by the Covenant. It's just gonna happen. And they're gonna try and pretend like it's this big shock moment, you know, like, oh my god, I never saw it. No, we see it. We see it.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Either her or Kai. One of those two are going to be infected by the Covenant. Or McKee. One of those three. But
You mean the Flood. He means the Flood. Also, this is not getting a season 3.
McKee has proven to be deathless. Maybe they're just getting started with Perez, and they'll develop her really well in the next season, just like they did with Quan. If Quan and McKee are anything to go by, then I have my doubts. Quan has this special touch. Quan was destined to be here at this moment. It was
Of course
fated,
she was.
and all they have her do is remove a piece of this puzzle after it lit up, so a star system could be displayed in the room. I'm sorry, but there's absolutely no way that these scientists hadn't tried that. So Quan's body must have been the missing link. So lame. Quan being there must have been what lit up this thing. Why
Dumb.
Quan, though? She's
Dumb
so
and
random.
stupid.
Everything in this show seems so random most of the time. She had seen these constellations before. She knows how they all should be formed, and they make up a halo ring, which opens a door. So dumb. This part is just so silly to me. Thank you, Visions, for allowing Quan to put this constellation together to form a
God,
ring
it's so
that will
fucking
open this
stupid.
door. Very nice. This was all part of her destiny. Man, I wonder what Quan's subplot brought us to. It must be very important. I'll tell you what it brought us to. The Flood. Infecting people. So thanks, Quan, for unleashing hell upon humanity. Unintentionally. The laser bridge is pretty cool, though. I remember those from the games. You know it's bad when I have to, like, try to find the fan service in this show. I'm not saying...
Why is the Flood on this random planet? Why is the Flood on this random planet and not in like a quarantine zone on the rings? Where they're supposed to be? What the
fan service
fuck?
makes a good show. But this show didn't even try. Although granted, there are a couple moments during this season that I liked. The first episode had some cool moments. The Fall of Reach was interesting, I suppose, even though the lack of armor kind of ruined it. The final episode, though, it has some highlights, even though I still don't like it. This admiral was responsible for all the UNSC's evils, and Ackerson just went along with her orders to let Reach fall and kill Spartans intentionally so they can get a spike into the Covenant fleet to destroy everything. And Ackerson is just her pawn, and he's going along with her orders. When she was very obviously demoted in season 1, how does she have any power left?
Why? This show is so bad. Like, as someone as deep into Halo lore as I am, I could tell you everything about pretty much every important named character. And I can tell you exactly how this show fucks them up in every single way.
It's so weird. I know they'd probably explain
It's so
it, but
bad.
man, my mind is just scrambled eggs. Basically, they're going to use a ship's core or something to create a bomb and fly it into this area and explode everything. So then Soren saves his kid, but in doing so, he shows him his violent nature, which frightens him. He's taken away despite Soren's efforts. Man, I love this. Keep dragging this random shit out.
Yeah,
This
just
show
drag
is
it
so
on
annoying
out.
because it
Drag
exists
it
in
out.
a time period between the stuff I would like to see. On one side, we have all the stuff that makes John a legend, the stuff that made the Covenant call him a demon, which we never see.
demon.
And then on the other end, we have the games. And I'm fairly certain the fall of Reach in this show is much different than it is in the game, despite the obvious stuff, you know, like the Covenant destroying it. How could they get that wrong? If they got that wrong, I would be very concerned. So this show exists in this, sour spot between the two things I would like to see. Showing us what happened to make John a legend, and the cool stuff in the games, you know? And they could just throw some time skips in there to make this work instead of countless visions.
They really could.
Visions. Honestly,
they love using visions and flashbacks to pad shit out.
Legend, maybe just someone commenting on the things that he's done, but they definitely should have showed what made John a demon in the Covenant's eyes. The end of this episode is pretty cool, not gonna lie. It's about time something fun happens. Master Chief is finally in his armor again, and he's going towards the Covenant.
About goddamn time.
Is with her Spartan 3s going into battle to deliver this spike to end the war. I'm not sure what Master Chief is hoping to achieve here, though. Why is he there? To assist them somehow? To find the Arbiter? Like, his missions throughout this season have been so undercooked and confusing because they're constantly changing. He seems to do nothing but fly by the seat of his pants.
So, we're cleared for combat.
And I have to admit, that is very Halo. That does seem to be what he does in the games. At the start of episode 8, John is talking to a mysterious person in his head. Miranda Keyes brings back a device that was held by a dead Forerunner. One of the scientists in the lab touches the artifact, and she starts to show changes. She becomes super aggressive and attacks another scientist. So this is clearly the Flood. I hate this. The Flood reveal in Combat Evolved is so much better, and I know it's in a game format, but still, something similar could have been easily done in a show, but instead they go the Resident Evil route with it. Why'd they have to do the whole stereotypical zombie virus outbreak thing?
Yeah, like, why are they treating it like a virus? It's not a virus, it's a parasite. The only parasite are the fuckers who made this show. Who have no idea what they're doing or what they're working with.
It's so overplayed. I hate it. What was so hard about this? Have it take place on the ring, have the Flood kill some Marines, and Master Chief isn't sure what's going on. He just tries to save them. And he finds the aftermath of what happened to them. And then he gets attacked and he has to find a way to defeat this strange enemy that he's never encountered before. It'd be so cool. Especially if he was attacked by the corpse of someone that he once knew. Kai, McKee, Perez, take your pick. All three? That'd be cool.
Well, this show can't do anything right.
Baffling decisions.
This show just can't do anything right.
A Halo show should have been a slam dunk, dude. You have books to go by. You have the games to use. If you have to change things up and create your own series of events, then at least make it cool, you know? Like, come on, man. I'm not asking for much. I love the fact that a Halo show is basically just this guy named John running around trying to find the answers to things without armor on. And we're all supposed to believe that this is Master Chief. The
it's
Halo
so
universe
dumb,
is supposed
dude.
to fill the viewer with dread. Master Chief is very often by himself, pulling off these missions by himself. Every once in a while, he's working with Marines. But still, normally he's surrounded by Covenant, surrounded by the Flood, with the support of Cortana trying his best to figure out a way out of these impossible scenarios. And there's so little of that in this show. This next part is...
Yeah, that's like another damning thing, because it's like, how much they condemn, like, actual Halo things just to have, like, melodrama or random romantic subplots or more, like, or more Quan shit. That makes no sense.
Is kind of cool. Kai's ship is destroyed, so her and all of her Spartan 3s are blown into space, and it's a pretty tense scene. It's clear that this show puts most of their effects budget into the first and last episodes of the show.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
The only episodes where we see Spartans in armor. So Soren is now on a mission to save Lara and Kessler. I don't care about any of these people. There's this thing with a coin flip and John's luck versus his intent, which I thought was kind of cute. McKee erases Cortana because she's not useful anymore.
Wait.
But just kidding, she's not actually erased. There's a scene aboard the Covenant cruiser, which is pretty cool. Though I wish we got to see more of the Covenant aboard this ship. It's focused mainly
instead
on
of just a bunch of
Spartan
floating
Perez
swords.
uses 2 needlers at one point, and I think that's pretty sick. I'm still trying to find ways to complement this show despite everything.
Yeah, you're really trying harder than I am, dude. With as much Halo knowledge as I have, I kind of can't help but hate this.
Shows up to save them all, and I thought that was cool as well. Finally, this show is starting to feel like Halo again after how many hours? Why does this show insist on forcing the viewers to wait hours and hours and hours to show us something we want to see? Kai says this
That's
to
so
Master
bad.
Chief. Spartans never die, but they do, don't they? Master Chief responds, not today. To this, I was like, huh? But like 1 billion Spartan 3s were killed. Doesn't he know that? Or maybe they don't count as Spartans because they're Spartan 3s, not like the cool Spartans? Why did they name them Spartan 3s? They must not count as real Spartans. And it's
Well, they're Spartan 3s because they're part of the Spartan 3 programs, like Master Chief and the others are the Spartan 2 program, which is because the Orion Project, a super soldier project that was first tried in the 25th century and then in the very early 26th century, was retroactively referred to as the Spartan 1 program. It's because it's basically their third try at a super soldier program.
pretty funny that Master Chief says this because this is what happens to Kai. Yeah, she pulls a Star Wars, but it doesn't look as cool. She just rams a ship into another ship, and it all blows up, and Kai's dead. Just kidding, she's alive. What? Let's just show that explosion again.
How is she alive after ramming a Covenant Corvette into the belly of a supercarrier?
Soren and McKee make their way through the UNSC base to find Lara, and people are acting very strange. They're all standing still and starting to mutate. I think this part is pretty cool, because I think they did that in the games. I think the Flood kind of just like stand there creepily sometimes. John jumps through space to board McKee's ship to save Cortana. Because remember, guys, he very much misses this AI that took over his brain at one point.
Cortana, my suit is too tight. It's crushing my balls.
There's no way that that could backfire on him in the future, and it's definitely worth him risking his life over, even though he regularly risks his life for dumb reasons, so it kind of makes sense. I should mention that she did save him by opening some doors. I think that's worth risking his life over. This ship is zooming towards Halo, by the way. Why was the Flood on this random planet Oryx in an underground Forerunner facility?
Okay, so again, you're calling it... I wish you would proofread. Like, proofread. It's Onyx. And secondly, it doesn't make any sense for the Flood to be on Onyx. Onyx is a shield world. They keep the Flood on the Halo rings, the Fortress worlds. The shield worlds were made explicitly as a safety measure against the Flood. So why would they keep the Flood on the why would they keep the Flood in the bunker?
Facility. Shouldn't it be on the Halo rings? Like, weren't the Halo rings meant to hold them? The Halo rings were like research facilities and a weapon and a place to store the Flood for research purposes. I think it would have been cooler if the Flood was found on the ring, but that's just me. And I think it would have been cooler if the Flood didn't start out as like a microorganism that infected people. That's so stupid. Give us those like blobby head things with the red like nerves sticking out. Those are cool. Do that again. Anyway, John crash lands on the Halo ring and goes searching for McKee. Cortana says, John, why are we here?
Why are we here?
What do you mean, why are you here? You crash landed here. You didn't have much of a choice. John responds, this is where the fight is.
This is where the fight is.
Okay, that works too. But I thought the fight was in space right now. Like, weren't you just up there? Okay. The Flood completely overtakes this UNSC ship, so the spirit of the old lady is somehow able to hold the Flood off from killing Quan. Is this old woman the hive mind or something? What is this old woman? The writing in this show is so weird. What is happening? Oh yeah, the Flood infects Halsey, by the way. So Miranda shuts her into a cryo chamber. It turns out Lara's infected too, so she shuts a door between her and Soren and gives herself to the Flood. John finds McKee and the Arbiter, and then a fight breaks out between Chief and the Arbiter. And then Chief kills the Arbiter.
I know what he said.
Yes, you heard me correct. Chief kills the Arbiter. Feels like they just introduced him and he's dead. He was such an important character in the games and they just introduced him to kill him off. It's so dumb. It feels like the people who wrote this show don't even like Halo. They introduced the Arbiter just to spit him out 3 episodes later. It's pretty shitty unless they're gonna find a way to bring him back to life. They did that with McKee, so why not? And
well, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they just because Arbiter isn't a name, he is a title. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just pass on the title of Arbiter to just a different guy. And make that, like, the Arbiter we know, you know, Fel Vadam. I don't know. I'm just drawing straws. Like, drawing at fucking straws here. But they're not going to anyway because the show's canceled.
Kai seems to be invincible. I don't know what's happening in this show anymore. McKee says, there's so much you don't know. And Master Chief responds, oh yeah? What's that? And McKee says, I'm a demon too. Oh my god, so scandalous. Oh, you are? Did you go around slaughtering Covenant like they were made of paper? Is that why? Why are you a demon? That makes no sense.
So damn dumb.
Chief continues to speak to this voice in the dark about his purpose.
So tell me, why do you fight? They took my image.
It turns out this voice is 343 Guilty Spark. One last hurrah for this piece of shit. I have to admit, I was pretty excited to see him. Oh my god! It's 343 Guilty Spark. I love him.
He doesn't even look like Guilty Spark.
But I do love him. It's a weird relationship.
He doesn't even look like
that's
him.
When the show ends. So it wasn't very good. I don't know if I like it less or more than season 1. Probably about the same. The 343 Guilty Spark reveal was kind of neat, I suppose. It definitely felt like there were budget restraints for this show or something, and that's why they kept Chief out of his armor. But they definitely have real armor for him to wear.
Wearing the suit is one of the great pleasures and cosplay moments of my life. I mean, I'm the Master Chief.
Man, I can't wait for the next season when it actually feels like Halo. Who am I kidding? It's gonna suck, and I'll be here to tell you all about it. So subscribe.
No, you won't.
The thing I
it's
like
canceled.
About this
You're not gonna tell us
the
about
lack
it.
of grunts and their funny banter.
Stop molesting me.
They're just.
Also, yeah, why the hell weren't there any grunts? There was nothing but elites and jackals. No grunts. Like, no grunts. No hunters, as far as I could tell. Just like elites, jackals, and the occasional brute.
Gone. I think I saw like 1 or 2. Where were they? Make sure to check out alienclothing.com, the coolest
like,
clothing brand in the world, where you can buy cool alien-related clothing. And if you like Halo, you probably like aliens, I'm guessing. Where were the grunts?
So that was Halo Season 2. It's so much worse than I thought it'd be. There's so much shit. I just yapped for most of that about how bad the show is. Because it deserves it. It's that bad. Genuinely, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, and I am so glad that the show is just canceled. I'm so glad. Hopefully they never try that again, and they just let it lie and let it die. If you saw Season 1 or Season 2, first of all, I am deeply sorry. I am deeply sorry for what you had to go through. Secondly, tell me about it and your thoughts about it in the comments below. Of course, don't forget to hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and ding that bell so you know when I upload, and it helps me out in the algorithm. And as always, I will see you next time at the HQ. Bye-bye.